Hi students, hope you are fine. In this class, I am going to deal about timers of MSP 430. Generally, timers are essential in any embedded system. Some of the timer applications are as follows. See here. The first one is the timers used for generating fixed period events. What do you mean by event? Event means something that should be happening particular time. Next, periodic wake up. With the help of timers, you can wake up your peripherals from sleep mode. That is, you can bring them back into the active mode from low power modes. Next, counting edges. Generally, timers include counters internally. And you know that counters are used for counting edges of your clock signal. In this way, timers can be used for counting edges of the clock signals. The next one is generating delays. With the help of timers, you can generate delays. For example, if you want to blink an LED, for every 3 seconds, here 3 seconds is a delay. You can generate this 3 seconds delay with the help of the timer. And you can on and off your LED with the help of the timer for every 3 seconds. And the next feature is that you can measure time intervals. That is, you can measure the time duration between two events with the help of timers. In general, for example, if one event is occurred at time 210, for example, and another event is occurred at time 220, then what is the interval between 210 and 220? It is 10. With the help of timers, I can measure time interval between two events. Then replacing delay loops with timer calls. This is the most important thing. And in lab also you learned about this thing. In ULP advisor, ultra low power advisor says you that to write or use timer calls instead of delay loops. Because if you use timer calls instead of delay loops, you can free CPU from running so that you can make CPU to be in sleep state so that your controller consumes less power. And also for doing multitasking, you should replace delay loops with timer calls. And coming to timer modules in MSP 430, totally you are having 5 types of MSP 430 timer modules available. The first one is a basic timer. Mostly it is present in MSP 430 4th generation microcontrollers. See here, it is present in the 4th generation microcontrollers. Next one, timer A. It is present in all devices and it will typically have 3 channels in operation. Next, timer B. It is also included in larger devices of all the families. The operation of timer B is similar to that of timer A. If you studied timer A, then it is applied to timer B also. Next one, watchdog timer. You already learned about watchdog timer, which restarts your microcontroller and software or hardware failure occurs. We already completed in previous video. Next, real-time clock. Real-time clock is one which provides calendar and clock information. This is also completed in previous video. Now I am going to discuss about basic timer 1. See, here the main intention of basic timer is to support your software and various peripheral modules with a low power consumption and low frequency reference. See, here are some of the functions which are controlled by basic timer. The first one is real-time clock RTC. As you observe, the clock sources given to RTC real-time clock. In real-time clock sources, one of the clock source is basic timer 1. That is, the output of the basic timer is given as an input to the counter present in the RTC. Next, debouncing keys. In your keyboard, generally mechanical keys will have bouncing effects. That is, if you press your keyboard key, it will bounces internally multiple times, so that your microcontroller may false trigger. So in order to separate on and off states of your key, your keyboard key, you can generate delay between the states with the help of basic timer. Next, software time incremental feature. You can increment time in your software with the help of some fixed periodic events generated by timer. And coming to block diagram of basic timer 1, this is a simplified block diagram of basic timer 1. The simplified block diagram. The actual block diagram is this one. This is the actual block diagram of basic timer 1. This is a simplified one. You can draw this simplified block diagram in your examination. Instead of this one, if you find difficulty in this one, you can draw this one. See here, in basic timer 1, you are having two counters, here counter 1 and counter 2. The basic timer 1 module holds two counters, counter 1 and counter 2. Each counter is of 8-bit in size. Each counter is of 8-bit in size. You can use these two counters independently, or you can mix these two counters to form a 16-bit counter. See here, the basic timer is constantly incremented. Here I am saying about basic timer counter 2. Here the counter is constantly incremented by the clock A clock or M clock. That is, you can select any one of the clock A clock or M clock from the clock source for counter 2. It is done with the help of this basic timer clock source selection bits. With the help of basic timer clock source selection bits, you can select any one of the clock sources, M clock or A clock. See here, with the help of basic timer division bits, you can divide your clock sources with some value, so that you are scaling your frequency. That is, you are reducing your frequency so that you can increase your time period. That timing signal is fed to basic timer counter 2. See, as I said earlier, the output of basic timer counter 2 is given to RTC, real-time clock, as a clock source. And these bits BT IPX, basic timer interrupt period or interrupt interval bits. These bits are used to set time interval in order to generate interrupt from the counter. By setting these bits, you can generate fixed periodic interrupts or events. And after generation of interrupt, your basic timer interrupt flag will be set. In order to generate interrupts, you should set basic timer interrupt enable bit, BTIE. And generally to basic timer counter 1, A clock is given as an input. A clock, auxiliary clock, is given as an input to basic timer counter 1. See here, as basic timer counter 1 is a 8-bit counter, what is the maximum value it can hold? It can hold 2 power 8, that is equal to 256 counts. Then the coming to the output of the counter 1, it will be A clock by 256 with the outcoming frequency. This frequency can also be fed as an input to the basic timer counter 2. And one of the main application is this basic timer counter 1 output is given to LCD module as a clock in order to maintain the frame updation in LCD. And BTFRQ here is there, no? This indicates your frame updation frequency. Frame updation frequency which relates to LCD module. And see here in detail, this is your basic timer counter 1 and this is your basic timer counter 2. See, A clock is given as an input to basic timer counter 1, as I said, no? For basic timer counter 2, the clock is M clock or A clock, which is scaled here. See here A clock by 256, that is A clock is scaled from basic timer counter 1 because it is 8-bit counter. The maximum value it can produce is 256, so A clock is divided by 256. It is given as an input to basic timer counter 2. Here the clock selection is made with the help of the bits SSCL, clock source selection, and division bits, which are present in the basic timer control register. It will be discussed later. See here, by enabling hold bit, you can stop basic timer counter 2. If hold bit is equal to 1, this basic timer counter 2 will be stopped. And by setting these two bits, hold and division bit here, you can stop basic timer counter 1. And see here, the output of the basic timer counter 1 is given to LCD for frame updation. And see here some points related to basic timer counter 1 and basic timer counter 2. And coming to basic timer counter 1, as I said, basic timer counter 1 is an 8-bit timer or counter that is directly accessible by your software. With the help of your software, you can control this basic counter 1. This basic timer counter 1 is incremented with A clock because A clock is the only clock source which is given to basic timer counter 1 and provides frame frequency updation for LCD controller. As I said, no. The next point, basic timer counter 1 can be stopped by setting the basic timer hold bit and the basic timer division bits. As you seen there, no, in the previous slide, with the help of these two bits, division and hold, you can stop your basic timer counter 1. Next, basic timer counter 2. The basic timer counter 2 is also an 8-bit timer or counter directly accessible by software. It is sourced from two clock sources, A clock and M clock. And the clock source to counter 2 is A clock by 256 when it is cascaded with basic timer counter 1. And I said the clock source for basic timer counter 2 is selected with basic timer clock source selection bit and basic timer division bits. And you can also stop the basic timer counter 2 if it is not in use in order to save power consumption. Then basic timer counter 2 interrupt flag will be set when interrupt is generated. The interrupt interval, the time at which interrupt is to be generated, is selected with the help of the BTIPX bits. BTIPX means basic timer interrupt period or interrupt interval selection bits. Next, 16-bit counter mode. In this mode, you can cascade your two counters, counter 1 and counter 2. These two are 8-bit counters. You can cascade these two counters and you can use as 16-bit counter. The clock source from basic timer counter 1 is A clock and the clock source of counter 2 is A clock by 256. As I said, no, as it is a 8-bit counter, the clock source given to this one A clock is divided by 2 power 8, that is equal to 256, and it is fed to basic timer counter 2. And coming to the control register, The first 3 bits here 0 to 2 are the basic timer interrupt interval selection bits. If it is 0 0 0, the interval is generated. Your clock frequency is reduced by 2 cycles and interrupt is generated accordingly. If it is 0 0 1, your clock frequency is reduced by 4 cycles and interrupt is generated accordingly, and so on. And coming to the bits 3 and 4, these are LCD frame updation frequency selection bits. LCD frame updation frequency selection bits. If the selection bits are 0 0, your LCD frame updation is done at this rate, FA clock by 32. Otherwise, FA clock by 64. These are the rates at which your LCD frame updation will be done. And basic timer clock division. The basic timer clock division along with basic timer selection. These two decides the clock frequency that should be applied to basic timer counter 2. Whether it is A clock or A clock by 256, that is output of your counter 1, or M clock or output of your counter 1. Next, basic timer hold. This basic timer hold bit is used to stop your basic timer counter 1 or basic timer counter 2. Then basic timer clock source selection. This is bit 7. I said no. Basic timer clock source selection along with basic clock timer division bit used to select the clock source for basic timer counter 2. These two bits are used to select the clock source for basic timer counter 2. And these two bits, basic timer hold and basic timer division, are used to stop basic timer counter 1. This is about your basic timer 1. Thank you.